To control devices, you need drivers. A driver is a program that allows your computer to control a particular piece of hardware. For example, a printer driver tells the computer what signals the printer needs to print in landscape mode, or to switch from color to black and white. These drivers are unique to each product and model. It's important to get the correct driver for each device. These are often updated by the manufacturer, so it's a good idea to check their website for updates. To look at drivers, we'll go to Device Manager. The devices are categorized by function. If we look at the Driver tab, we get some important information. We can see the revision number of the driver, and this is important if we're considering updating this driver. We can check the manufacturer's website to see the latest driver number. If there's a newer driver out there, we can choose Update Driver. If you download a driver from a company, you don't usually need to do this because they will include installer software that takes care of this for you. Just because there's a newer driver out there, however, doesn't mean that you need it. Read the website to see what improvements or fixes the driver pertains to and decide if you need it. Sometimes the driver makes the problem worse or is the wrong version. That's why we get a button called Rollback Driver, which takes you to the one you had before. If there's no previous version, this will be grayed out. In that case, you can choose Uninstall Driver and then go get the correct one. Disabling the device just stops it, but it does not remove the driver. A disabled device will be indicated by a black down arrow next to the icon. By default, your server will only load signed drivers. A signed driver is a driver that includes a digital signature. The signature is an electronic security mark that can verify the publisher of the driver. It will also let you confirm that the driver was not tampered with. Windows will give you a warning if a driver was not signed or if a signed driver seems to have been tampered with. All drivers obtained through Windows Update are signed by the Windows Hardware Quality Labs. The Windows Hardware Quality Lab tests hardware and drivers for Windows operating systems. The Details tab gives us more information about the exact driver files. I'm going to try to update the driver for this device. And Windows tells me I have the latest driver already. We don't have to worry about drivers as much as we used to thanks to Plug and Play. You can just plug in your device over a Plug and Play compliant interface such as USB. The hardware will be automatically detected and the driver will automatically be installed if Server 2008 can find it. Server 2008 already includes drivers for many popular devices and printers. Plug and Play in Windows Server 2008 does many things for you. It'll detect your Plug and Play device and it determines its hardware requirements and its device ID. It'll automatically locate the driver for anything new that you've installed. It'll allocate the hardware resources, including the IRQ, the DMA channel, memory, and etc. It also dynamically loads, initializes, and unloads the drivers, and it notifies other drivers and applications when a new device is available. If you have old hardware, such as an ISA drive, you might need to manually configure it. Each device uses its own resource settings, including IRQ or interrupt request numbers, direct memory access channels, input-output or I/O port addresses, and memory address ranges. In some cases, devices can share a resource, but on servers it's best to keep each device unique. You need to check with the manufacturer of your non-plug-and-play device for more information. I'm going to install an older non-plug-and-play modem. I'm going to choose Add Legacy Hardware from the Action menu. Windows Server provides hardware wizards to help you install devices. To use them, you must be logged on as an administrator or a member of the administrators group. I'm going to choose my legacy device, in this case a modem. And my modem is installed. And if I go to the properties of this device, I get the same choices as I would on a plug-and-play device. But to see and configure the resources of a device, I need to change the view in Device Manager. I'll pick Resources by Connection, and then I can see those hardware settings that are normally handled by plug-and-play. When I choose a device this time, I'll get a resource tab that was not there before. And this is where I'd pick the hardware settings for my legacy device. I can't change the settings on this sound card because it is already plug and play. I can also use the System Information tool to see but not change the hardware information. I can see what devices are using each interrupt, as well as the I/O and the memory range. And I can also get information about the legacy device that I just installed.